It's mild. It should be okay. Welcome to 1111 True Crime. Mama D coming at you. Good to see you. I've missed you. We're going to deep dive on the Jay Slater case. And there goes our notification out to everyone. Hi, Julianne, Viv, Debbie Gazzardo, Nikki UK, Ocean Deep. Good to see you. Good to see everyone. We have a lot of people here. And, okay, we're on a series in the Jay Slater case where we're diving deep into individuals at this time. And we've done, let's see, let's just say. So the first one was titled The Name of My Series, which is Behind the Green Door, Part 1. Go ahead, check that out. Then I did the next one of Lucy Effed Up, Part 2. You do not want to miss that one if you haven't seen it. Now, let me get to the top. There's a lot to go over on this one. A lot. So, hi, Helen's Repaint, Claire, Madeline's Post. This is a live. I have a live audience, as well as I want to thank you on Replay crew. You guys are incredible too. I appreciate live, replay. I love you all. You're my 1111 family, and I adore you. Truly, I do. When it comes to Jay Slater, we were given information. Whether it's true or not, well, we don't know. But the only two people that physically saw Jay in Masca are Ophelia and Ab. Do you trust Ab? I don't trust Ab further than I can spit him. You know what I'm saying? That's a bad choice of word. Further than I can throw him, whatever. And then you get into, could we trust a local that owns the Airbnb that could be looking responsible in some way? I mean, they are the last location, and they are the last one to see Jay alive? I don't know. Let's find out how her timeline works out. And I think this, in my opinion, proves what I'm about to show you in Ophelia's timeline, how it's impossible. Absolutely impossible. So I'm going to need you to pay close attention. I'm going to be hiding behind the screen so I can show you the PowerPoint. And hi, Tanya Thacker. Hi, Claire. Hi, my beautiful Zoe. Hey, Ocean Deep. Rach, not that Rach. Good to see you all. Hi, Karen. All right. So when we're done with this, because this has got to be packed into a digestible, to-the-point video, right? So after this, if you are interested in an open family discussion about Jay Slater, where it's an interactive chat where we read your comments and share your stuff, and it's more of a relaxed setting, just follow the link in the thumbnail after this is over. And if you are on replay, you'll simply go to the first pinned comment and there'll be a link that'll take you right on over to continue with us. All right, you guys. So we've got this Ophelia's Lie. Let's go ahead so that I'm not having to watch all these different screens. If I can grab it, there we go. Let's stretch this out like so. Okay. Forgive me. I'm going to wet my whistle real quick because there's a lot of communication here. Let me reset chat because it's showing me that 2 people are here and I won't see your post otherwise. Okay. Here we go. Are you guys ready? Hey, Cass. Good to see you. Baban, welcome back. Ingrid Loki, good to see you. Good evening to you. And Julie Stephan. All right, you guys. Ophelia lies. Ophelia's lie. which I think there's more than one, but I'm here to prove one is a lie for sure, in my humble opinion. So with Ophelia, she claimed that she spoke to Jay at 8:30 a.m. She also claimed to speak to him, no, let me take that back, to see him a second time at 8:45. So it would have been 3 times actually, because she claims Jay came to her and talked to her about the bus stop at around 8:30, came right back and asked her a few more questions, and then she's claiming that she's going home at around 8:45 and she sees Jay on the road. She also did her interview with the back to the camera. When the family is on the search, they approach her shop. She puts her hand up towards them, like don't talk to me, as in a stop motion, and then she closes, the shop, right, to avoid the family. She pulls all the chairs in and locks up or whatever. So what we've got to do is we've got to break down Ophelia's lie, because she's key. She's obviously key if she's the last person to see Jay Slater. Now, she also drives a white car, so that's interesting when we look at the white car in Jay's last snap. Not that it's her car. I'm just saying she drives a white car, and this happens to be a white car. I don't think it is Ophelia's car, but I think the 2 white cars are important. So this is Jay's last Snapchat that we know of. There was one, apparently something to do with a snap that's going down into a ravine. I don't know where that is. I don't know if it exists. So we're going to go with this right now, that this is the last Jay Slater snap. Doesn't mean it was him on the phone. But here we go. We have Ophelia's claiming she saw Jay on the road at 8:45 in the morning. So he's walking on the road. Who else saw Brad on the road? Allegedly, Brad. So at this point, Ophelia and Brad are both claiming that Jay was on the road. Now, Brad claims that he heard or saw Jay go off the road, right? But he doesn't put a time on it. Oh, wow. Thank you, Zaxxon. Hold on just a Jeff. If I can grab it. Zaxxon, thank you so much for being a Starlight Bud for 3 months. Thank you, lovely. I greatly appreciate that. Very, very much. Okay, you guys. So at this point, we have Ophelia, 8:45, claiming to see Jay on the road outside of Masca. Brad claiming to see Jay go off the road. All right, let's continue. Interesting, we have this. This is the last GPS screenshot, if you will, of Jay Slater. His last ping, right? And it's obviously at 8:41 because the time on this is 8:49. We've gone over this. This is where Jay allegedly was. And it says Jay Slater updated 28 minutes ago. So what the person to get his last ping time would need to do is to take that 8:49 when this was screenshot from their phone while they're viewing the actual app that Jay was on is at 8:49. This could be Brad's phone viewing the GPS that he's logged into. So he said, Jay, turn your GPS on, right? So at this point, Brad, this is Brad's phone. He's also on that same app on his phone. He screenshots it, I believe, at this 8:49. But Jay's phone on this app had only updated 28 minutes earlier. meaning that Jay's last ping ever of his phone would put him at exactly 8:21. This gets wild, you guys. All right. Put that 8:21 last ping on the whiteboard and hold on to it. We're going to plug this into a timeline map. Now, this is a call that went out from Jay's phone, or I'm sorry, from Lucy to Jay's phone. So Lucy called Jay because it says outgoing call, and it says 8:44, right? So Lucy is calling someone on Jay's phone at 8:44, actually connects to Jay's phone and speaks for 2 minutes. But as this person put right here, this says outgoing call, which means you called him. You said he called you. So not only does Ophelia lie right here, it shows that Lucy lied about this call. So let's get over to our timeline, right? Hi, Andrea Lawrence. All right. This is our basic timeline, and we're going to leave Ophelia out of this, and we're going to go through. So we're going to take what we've been told. Ahab, let me shrink this so that you can see it a little better. Oops. Something got out of sync here. And you know me, I like it to be in sync. I like it to make sense. All right. Here we go. Ahab says that they arrived at the Airbnb at 6:30 a.m. because he was zooming in a Cobra. It was mad. It was mad. All right, we'll take it. We'll take it for now. The next thing that we know is that we have a Snapchat of Jay. It's the, well, and it may not be Jay, right? It's of someone's hand and their shoes. They appear to be smoking a cigarette, and this is labeled Snap 1 Airbnb. When people did the research on the lighting and the timeline and when the sun rises and when the sun sets and all this, it's come up to be approximately 7:15 a.m. So we're going to put that as a stake on the board, that the Airbnb cigarette photo most likely was taken around 7:15. Okay. Is everybody flowing with me so far? Let me come up for just a minute before we continue. I'm looking at chat over here this time, you guys. Yes, Lucy Bayon go fun. She woke up at 8:30 a.m. Okay, all right. Good question, Mark Smith. Fact, not fiction says, is that an outbound call to Lucy to Jay's other phone back at the apartment and answered by Brad? Good question. Oh, I get from Lucy. Gotcha. All right, you guys, are you following me so far? Give me a 1 if you guys are on board with this. Let me lighten up the... It's like so dark. I told you I've got storms today. Sky's dark. Hey, Julianne. Hey, TJ Hamilton. All right, everybody's on board so far? Give me a 1 if you're following me with what I'm going through here. So we've got this Airbnb with Ahab at 6:30 a.m. arrival time. And then it would be approximately 45 minutes later that we would have this Airbnb. All right, everybody's a 1. Okay, I'm going to disappear again. I just want to make sure everybody's understanding what we're doing here. So we're working on our timeline, right? This is a basic timeline without Ophelia, because I'm about to prove that Ophelia is lying. Okay, in my humble opinion. Next, at 7:30 on the CCTV, we have 2 white vehicles, right? 2 white vehicles. Just throwing it on here. That's at approximately 7:30 a.m. on the CCTV. Hey, Rachel Jones. Hi, Jim Starr. Good to see you. So we go from the Airbnb, getting there at 6:30 to 7:15. We've got the Snapchat by whoever is smoking the cigarette, and then we have 2 white cars. All right. Next, the next thing we have is, and I'll come back to why it says Brad in a minute. Just, I'm putting him up here so that you can see. So here we are at the last known snap on Jay's phone. We'll put it that way. Whoever took it, I don't know. We're back to the white car, right? This is the white car. Jay's last snap. Okay. We're going to put it here. Why do I put it here? You're going to find out why I put it at 8:01. And why did I come up with this being the last second that Jay would have been on the road? Well, we're going to backtrack all this. So if you look at this, we've added that last ping at 8:21. Now, Chris Tenegreef, he went on a walk from Masca to the place where Jay allegedly went off-road, and he said it was a 20-minute walk. He then said he went off-road and followed the trail to the little tree where Jay's phone pinged last, which was an additional 20 minutes. If I add that walk up from the Airbnb, then leaving the road and go into that little tree, we have a total of 40 minutes. All right? So at 8:21 is Jay's last ping. We subtract that 40 minutes to see where Jay would physically have been. Right here at 8:41. Let's continue. We'll come back to Brad yet again. Oh, great. Hold on. My PowerPoint just froze. And if it doesn't unfreeze, I'm going to be mad at it. There it goes. Okay. Everybody following? Okay, hold on. I'll come up for air. On the go. Your times are wrong. Go ahead, correct me. Correct me. I want to make sure we're getting this right. We'll just stop the show for you. How are we getting our times wrong? 8:21 can't be wrong. 6:30, who knows? That's what Ahab said. 7:15 is the time of what we have determined as, a mass group that the Airbnb step picture took place. We have CCTV footage at approximately 7:30. So how's my time wrong? I mean, what part of it is wrong? Am I missing something? Would you like me to add something in? And it would be great if you finished a full statement, your times are wrong, and then how are they wrong? I'm waiting. We're all waiting. It was around 7:30 is what I heard that the car pulled up. Okay. I'm not seeing you answer. I gave you a lot of time. I know there's a lag. Okay. Let's go back into it. I'll watch, and if you come up with something that we need to correct, then I will. Let's get back into this. Okay, so Crispy said it was a 20-minute walk from the Airbnb to the location that Jay allegedly went off the road. He then said it was another 20 minutes to get to the little tree where Jay pinged last. If Jay pinged at 8:21, that would mean that 7:41 is the latest that he would have been able to leave the Airbnb. You feel me? Okay. Let's continue. Now we also have proof, we have a screenshot, that Lucy called Jay at 8:44 and said that his phone was out of battery, 1%. He was thirsty, he was cut by a cactus, and that he thought he was going to die, according to Ahab, right? That Lucy said he thought he was going to die at 8:44 a.m. So if we really look at this, here's Jay, right? At 6:30, Jay is at the Airbnb in this scenario. He goes out for a cigarette. We're just walking the walk here. Doesn't mean it's Jay, but follow me out. At 7:15. Approximately 7:30, two white cars, two white vehicles show up. Then we have the last ping, and here's why I said 8:01 and Brad. If we say that Jay's last ping in the wilderness there by the tree is at 8:21, and Crispy said it was a 20-minute walk, I took off 20 minutes, and it puts it right in the middle here at 8:01. Which I believe Brad is the one that made the claim that he witnessed in some fashion, whether through hearing stones or seeing it, never did get a really clear answer, that he's saying Jay stepped off the road and onto the path. Well, that would have been 20 minutes from his last ping. So 8:01 would have been Brad, right? So I don't know who would have called Brad that Jay's phone would have been ringing, because Lucy doesn't call him for another 44 minutes, allegedly. Does this all make sense, you guys? All right, here we go. Now, let's introduce Ophelia's timeline. Everything's here, right? The Airbnb, the snap, the two white cars, the last snap of Jay, which I believe was at 8:01, where Brad also says he saw Jay go off the road. Then we have 8:21. Jay would have been, if this was all true, Jay would have been by the tree out in the wilderness of Masca. Lucy calling him 23 minutes later. But Ophelia says that it was 8:30 that she talked to Jay, and that 8:45 she saw him on the road. So I'm confused how she could have done this, because if you take this as Jay's last ping right here, Jay, according to Lucy and Brad, is no longer in Masca, the town, but rather is deep into the wilderness by 8:21, which would mean that by 8:30, 9 minutes after Jay would have been deep in this wilderness and pinged last, Ophelia claims to be talking to Jay. And also at 8:45 claims to see him on the road. So this can't work. You follow me? Because here's the cutoff. So what I propose is that it wasn't 8:30, but that Ophelia went to the door of the Airbnb at approximately no later than 7:30, which aligns with the two white cars, one being Ophelia's, where she drove from her home to Masca on the express specific idea of bringing these two men to Ahab's door, hypothetically. But it would align then, because it can't, whoops, let me grab this. It can't be over here where she's saying, and it would be easy to remember that exact hour difference, not 7:30, but 8:30, right? So let's go ahead and for just shits and giggles and tickles, we're going to move her with these two guys to align with these two white cars. We know Ophelia has a white car. We see a white car in this last snap of J. So let's just put Ophelia over here and say she's full of snarky and say that that's 8:30. And then let's move this an exact hour back, right, to 7:45, which would put Ophelia seeing Jay on the road aligned with Brad. So hypothetically, does this prove that Ophelia's timeline is at least an hour later than it could possibly be? Now keep in mind, she has no adult son. So maybe that was her husband, or was that this elusive whoever Mark and Jonas is? Lucy, our distributor, knows who we are, knows how to get in touch with us. Blah, 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 blah. Did they come to the door? I have Jay Slater with me. I need this 30,000. Otherwise, we will let him die. We have fed him to keep him. Our distributor, Lucy, knows who I am and where to find me. She has chosen not to talk to me. I want that bag, Lucy. This is not a trap. The boat is somewhere hidden. It's moored, and we visit him daily. Okay, all right. Let's go back up. If we follow this new adjusted timeline, you realize that it's very close to this timeline right here, right in here, that the Maruba leaves Tenerife, Masca. Just saying. So why would Ophelia lie? An hour delay in the timeline at best? She's arriving at a very early hour with her white car and somebody else most likely's white car, unless the two men drove with her, right? At this door where Jay is staying. She had direct contact with the victim. She, by her own terms, is the last one to see Jay alive on the road. And she owns the Airbnb. So, let me come up here to this again. As you can see, what my point is, that if we go with Ophelia back over here, at her timeline, it's literally impossible because she's saying that she's talking to the boy after his last ping at 8:21. It's not possible. The woman be a complete bold-faced liar. And not only is she a liar, but then she treats the family like shite. Putting her hand up towards them to stop. Pulls all her little chairs into her little cafe. Yet everything she says about Jay could never have happened because cutoff time, no matter what, is 8:21. So I really think this is more about the time. And if she's there that early, did she come to the Airbnb specifically to bring this Mark and Jonas? Right? I don't know. So that's what I have for you for now. But there will be much, much more to come. Let me grab that. There we go. Let me do this real quick. Okay. We're going to flip some stuff around over here. I'm going to bring chat over here because I want to see what y'all are saying too. Now we are going to go into an in-depth discussion that will allow you to get your comments out there. How can it be so dark on this day? I can't make that any brighter. Hold on, y'all. My camera's like, I'm in the dark. I'm in the dark. Okay. There. It fits. Okay, Ocean Deep feels like the timeline fits. JMD, hello and welcome to 1111 True Crime. You said someone that can't show their face on camera is guilty, in my opinion. The whole putting your hand up. How rude. How damn rude. Let alone that it be, you're looking for your son, and she's the last human on the face of the planet that had contact with him and saw him. And she's all like, don't even think about talking to me. Don't even think about it. In fact, I'm going to go pull all my chairs in and close everything up. She's a liar. Oh, poll. Thank you, Karen Bell. All right. Our poll today. Do you believe Ophelia ever saw Jay at all? All right, let's see. If you want to play at home, I'll read the answers real quick and you can pick one, A, B, C, or D. Get ready. A, yes, just like she claims. B, yes, but much earlier. C, no, she saw someone that looked like Jay. No, on D, she is lying to help cover up. Let's go with the least favorite answer. So get your answers on the board. Get your votes in. Aw, Saxon, thank you kindly for gifting 20 Starlight memberships. That is so kind of you. Greatly appreciate that, my dear. Very much so. Fong that makes her seem guilty. Nikki says, what's Fong? He had a bad typo. I don't know what that is. Gem Star says, just to throw a spinner in the works. I don't believe the kids or Ahab have the knowledge or the insight of making this story up. The kids are out to make money, and Ahab is just a supplier, in my opinion. Thank you, Gem Star. Okay. Get ready. Time to read the answers. Coming in fourth place, do you believe Ophelia ever saw Jay at all? Least favorite answer at 2%. Yes, but much earlier. Okay. The third least favorite answer is answer A. Yes, just like she claims, at 3%. That's it. So 5% believe Ophelia saw Jay either at the time she claimed or at later date. So the second least favorite answer, second place, is no, she's someone that looked like Jay, 23%. Which leaves answer D with the majority of the votes. We have 181 votes at this time. At 71% are saying, no, she is lying to help cover up. That's crazy. 71%. Wow. That's wild. Jody Sinclair says, oh, maybe two lads, but one wasn't even Jay. Wow. So I'm just kind of thinking this through on what we've been told. And even just on what we've been told, everything Ophelia said about her timeline is literally impossible. Because last ping for Jay Slater is 8:21. If this is true, that Jay is with his phone, if, he would have already been deep into the Masca Mountains for an hour. And she's talking to him about the bus stop. No, she never talked to him about that bus stop at that time. It didn't happen. Not unless somebody stole Jay's phone and he didn't have a phone and his phone is pinging all these places. There's just no way. Are we surprised with 71%? TJ wants to know. I was expecting 50%. But I mean, that would negate, think about it. If she never saw Jay, if 71% of you are saying that she never saw Jay, that would mean that Ahab is full of shit when he answers the door, because he's saying she came to the door with two men. And that he's saying he passed Jay and saw her talking, or him talking to Ophelia. He passed Jay in the doorway as Jay's leaving. So then that would negate the whole I need to move my car thing. Ophelia said so. So yeah, it was a little surprising to me. I thought it would be that more people felt that she saw someone that looked like Jay. I thought that was going to be. But I'm always interested to know what the majority thinks. Very much so. We do have a massive difference in the answers. By far, 71%. That's crazy. Their lies are catching up to them fast, Prime Candy. Seeking Justice makes an excellent point. She feels that her business, Ophelia's business, is dependent on them. Hi, good question. Welcome to 1111 True Crime. Said if anyone watched the video Joe 2 put out last week, you would have seen clearly Tom Hilton in the back of the car. Abe was driving towards Masca. Through the tunnel, Rocky was a passenger. Well, go check that out if you want to. Andre Lawrence says Ophelia could never be reliable witness in UK. Her personal interest is too deep with B&B and cafe shop next door. She does have a conflict of interest as the owner, right? It's a conflict of interest. It's skin in the damn game. You want to say you saw him somewhere else, not the last place was in your Airbnb. You certainly aren't going to be well known. And in a good way, I'll put it in a good way, if you check in but you don't check out. So she got to put the boy checking out, so she's going to lie. But at the same time, she didn't account for all the time issues. Oh, it was removed, says good question. Well, if it was removed, there's a reason. Baban says Ahab Diddy. Loving it. Aw, sickening getting off on poor Jay's demise, right? Sally, to me, hello, good to see you. Ahab is full of shite. Has got Jay's blood all over his hands, in my opinion. She was definitely paid off, and I do believe Lucy is in the thick of it all. Thanks for keeping on this for all of us. Thank you, dear. GMD says, I've always wondered who lives in the dark gray building next to Ophelia's shop. That's a good question. There is so much more to discuss. And I definitely want to hear what your thoughts are. And it's great if you leave me comments down below. But I would like to have a conversation, a chat with you. So if you would like to deep dive further, we have a interactive live chat coming up next. You'll just hit that little thumbnail when it pops up and you'll be magically magic carpet ride over to that. And if you are on replay, like I said, it's pinned in the first comment down below. We'll take you over to our live interactive chat. I love you guys. I hope that this made sense to you. I hope it helps some. I don't claim it to be fact. This is all speculation, my opinion, but we have to put this stake in the ground somewhere, right? That's what I feel anyway. Woo, I hear the truth train for Jay Slater, who will remain 19 forever, because Jay Slater will remain forever young. I don't celebrate birthdays after someone leaves, so Jay didn't make it to 20. And it's heartbreaking. It's truly unforgivable. Somebody did something. I truly believe that. And I believe Lucy, Ophelia, Ahab, Brad, Brandon, Rocky, and a few others, Rachel, someday your time will come. And the truth will be known. I love you guys. Justice for Jay Slater, and I mean that from the very bottom of my heart.